This is Oklahoma's own News 9.
Welcome back. Joining us this morning to talk about her new book is a New York Times bestselling author, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Thank you for waking up with us, especially this early.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the Inheritance Games.
So the Inheritance Games is about an eccentric, puzzle-obsessed billionaire who dies and leaves his entire fortune to a teenage girl he's never met, and she has no idea why.
Oh.
But to inherit, she has to move into his sprawling, secret passage-filled mansion and live alongside the family he just disinherited for a year, which includes his four extremely attractive grandsons.
Okay, I like that.
One of whom considers her a puzzle to be solved because the old guy was obsessed with puzzles and riddles and games, and he thinks she's the last game, and the other of whom thinks she's a con woman who must be destroyed. And if you're wondering if she's in a love triangle with those two brothers, the answer
100%.
is yes. Yeah.
We love a good love triangle. Okay, you have 3 books out right now. The fourth one's coming out Tuesday, and we already have it sitting on our little desk.
I'm so excited.
Tell me about this book and how it's going to play into the series.
So this book actually switches protagonists to be those two brothers I just talked about. So Jameson and Grayson Hawthorne, it's set after the Inheritance Games. And although there are 4 Hawthorne grandsons who are all brothers, they all have different fathers. And they all grew up not knowing who their fathers were. And so this book explores mysteries about the paternal sides of their family. So we go from sort of the original books were set in Texas. This is half in London, half in Arizona, globe-trotting mysteries on opposite sides of the globe, and really kind of exploring those characters and what it was like to grow up with this eccentric billionaire of a grandfather.
Okay. You have other young adult books. How does this one differ from the other books you've written before?
So I actually took a very different approach with this one. I used to be a psychology professor at OU. I had a lab dedicated to studying the psychology of stories and fiction and why we like them. And so I actually made like this 27-page workbook on all the predictions that scientific theories make about why we like stories. And then I said, what would happen if I put all of that stuff in one story? And so I went through and just sort of like crafted this story that it should be like perfectly geared towards why we like stories. I'm like, let's just see what happens if I do this. And then first of all, it was so much fun to write because the same things that might make people like reading a story.
Continue to read, yes.
Also make them hugely fun to write. And so I did this, and I'll never go back to not doing it again because it was just so amazingly fun and really seems to resonate with readers.
You've put out your 4th book in this series. People always ask, is there going to be a 5th?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
there we go.
is.
And on Tuesday, you're going to be signing your new release. Tell me how people can go.
So it will be at Best of Books in Edmond, I believe, at 6 p.m. And so there's tickets beforehand, or you can show up. I'll be talking to another local author, Rachel Vincent, and we're just really looking forward to doing the launch of the book here in Oklahoma.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us this morning. I really appreciate it. And we'll have more information for you all. If you need a ticket for the signing, you can find a link right on the story posted on our website.